Hello everyone, we are from Group 5 Full-Time Data Science, batch Remote 16. In this opportunity, me and my team want to present another computational library called Theano. In my team, there is Mr. Febrian Hendiva, Mr. Fenifit Tatama, Ms. Weni Chandrasari. In this section, we will discuss about the definition of Theano, the reason why we should use Theano, comparison between Theano with TensorFlow, Theano installation, simple demo using Theano, then keys to take home, and the end. The next slide will present with Ms. Weni Chandrasari.
What is Theano? Theano is an open source library that can be sped up with GPU, has an easy syntax that can perform from a simple mathematical operation like adding two matrices to deep neural network or DNN model. An overview of Theano history. An ANN is created by Warren McCullough and Walter Pitts at 1043. And at 207, Theano is started by Montreal Institute for Learning Algorithms. At 27th of July 2020, stable version of Theano 1.0.5 is released. Next. Why should we use Theano instead of Python or NumPy? Theano can automatically build symbolic differentiation. Theano can stabilize an unstabilized expression and compute with more stable algorithms. Theano can be sped up with GPU. Theano has extensive unit testing and self-verification, including tools for detection and diagnosing bugs. Theano has more focus on tensor expression than NumPy and has more machinery for compilation. If NumPy is more compared to MATLAB and SumPy to Mathematica, Theano is a good hybrid of NumPy and SumPy. Next slide. What are advantages and drawbacks of Theano? The advantages are, first, lot of package like Keras, Raksan, and lots more. Second, it's a low-level product, but it has high-level modules, means more useful. The drawbacks are, first, complex when used on Amazon Web Service. Second, can only use by single GPU. Third, not good for fast data. Fourth, syntax are okay, but the error messages are difficult to understand. Next slide will be presented by Mr. Theano.
All right, thank you. We may often hear the word of TensorFlow or even use it, but not with Theano. Actually, what's the difference between Theano and TensorFlow? Here are the difference. The first one is Theano performs tasks way faster than TensorFlow. Mainly the tasks that require a single GPU will run faster in Theano itself. The second one, Theano has a native Windows support, while TensorFlow lacks of native Windows. Theano also supports high-level wrappers. And then the next one is Theano has more documentation compared to TensorFlow. And then next, TensorFlow runs specially on Linux, macOS, and Windows, and also Android, while the Theano runs on cross-platforms. And then the next one is TensorFlow is one of the famous deep learning libraries, and it's mostly used for research purpose, where Theano is an old framework that is not used mostly. And the last one is Theano is compatible with a deep learning library called Keras, which contains some pre-trained models. Next. The next one is Theano installation. Before we can install Theano, we must install other libraries, namely like Python, NumPy, SciPy, required only for sparse matrix and special functions. And the last one is BLAST, which is provide standard building blocks for performing basic vectors and matrix operations. While the optional package, there are NOS to run Theano's test suite, and then Spink for building documentation, and then Graphis and PyDot to handle graphics and image, and then NVIDIA CUDA drivers, which is required for GPU code generation or execution. And the last one is libgo array, which is required for GPU or CPU code generation on CUDA and OpenCL devices. I think that's all from me. The next one will be there will be a demo from Mr. Febrian Hendiva.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Penny. Okay, I will do a simple Theano demo. The first, install Theano library like this. And then we import the Theano library in the program like this. Next, we will declare variable name A and B like this. The scalar, this decimal scalar variable, the execute of the above statement, create variable A and B in the program. Next, we will define these two variable A and B. This in Theano, the execution of the statement above does not perform the scalar sum of the two variable A and B. To execute the above expression, we need to define function in Theano like this, Theano function. Next, we will call function f like this. The input to the function is an array to scalar 2.5 and 2.5. Execution output assigned to scalar variable d to print the content of d, and we will use print, and I execute the notebook. Execution will cause the value of the be print on the console with its 5.0 in this case. Okay, that's all the Theano demo. And the next, Mr. Juliza.
Keys to take home or conclusion. The machine learning model building involves intensive and repetitive computation involving tensors. They require intensive computing resource. As a regular compiler would provide the optimization at the local level, it does not generally produce a fast execution code. Theano first built a computational graph for the entire computation, as the whole picture of computation is available as a single image during compilation. Several optimization techniques can be applied during pre-compilation, and that's exactly what Theano does. It restructures the computational graph, partly converts it into C, moves shares variable to GPU, and so on to generate very fast executable code. The compiled code is then executed by a Theano function which just acts as a hook for injecting the compiled code into the runtime. Theano has proved its credential and is widely accepted in both academics and industry. That's all from us. Thank you for your attention.